Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video in which I take on stages 11 and 12 of Union Master. But before I get right into the clobbering, consider liking and consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell if you have not done so already, and enjoy the channel. But with that all out of the way, I will lay this universe to waste effortlessly as I complete these battles right now. But with that being said, it is most definitely one of those calm before the absolute storm periods just for Dragon Ball in general. Firstly, because we are going to be having absolute hype coming out on the start of 2026. Fingers crossed there, as well as just a general slower period for Dokkan and Legends as well. So definitely feeling the effects of that myself, and I'm definitely feeling a little wishy-washy personally on other things, but I am going to try my I am going to be my absolute best and slam dunk myself on these stages and on life, because that is what you gotta do, chat gang. So with that being said, we are going to have a lot of cool stuff coming up for this game, because there is definitely a lot they can hammer out, especially since Dragon Ball Heroes will no longer be a headlining celebration this year. It's going to be interesting to see what they would replace something like that with. I've heard a lot of talk about, okay, we could have another crossover time slot for that period, which could be interesting. I'm personally not going that far on the train. I think there might just be a regular character that I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what awaits us at the end of a honestly pretty rocky year for Dokkan, to be honest, because as I've said countless times, they've had high highs and they've had low lows. I'm not going to re-explain all of that all over again, but I am going to say with confidence that I hope they really finish out this year correctly with a bang for freaking sure, because I don't know if it has lived up to the expectations of what the 10th year is supposed to be. I think it hasn't at the same time. Is that fair to say? Is it fair to say that this year has and hasn't delivered at the same time? Like Schrodinger's Dokkan year, I really had to make sure I pronounced that right, or at least give it a good old shot like you do in life for everything else. But no, seriously, I definitely think that I would say that is absolutely the case for freaking sure. But with that being said, with that, I have some other things to look forward to. Of course, Legends is going to be starting their Legends Festival in around a month for their 7th year of operations, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. despite how absolutely abysmal these communities are sometimes, I definitely think that a lot of the stuff is a little bit overblown. For that and for Dokkan, I definitely think that Dokkan is in a good spot. It's just a little slow right now because we are not in a major celebration period, which I actually really don't mind. I really do appreciate the system where you have hype characters and then you have those more so representation characters, the ones that you can skip if you press for Dragon Stones. But hey, the power creep has been so relentless. It has just been crazy who ends out on top. I really did not expect this Omega to go this hard. He is just absolute cinema. This has been the year of villain. If there's one thing that Dokkan done right, I've said this before, I'll say it again, villains. They've done an incredible job with villains. But moving on from that, since I am talking about things corresponding to the 10th anniversary year, there is going to be a 10th anniversary year live broadcast in Tokyo. And of course, I am going to be watching that YouTube video that is going to announce the latest info on the next campaign after this one. The Super Baby campaign, if we're being royal, is centered around him and all of his minions that he controls. So that is going to be exciting. Halloween stuff for the game has also started. And that's just the thing of, wow, the free-to-play characters actually not look so bad if they didn't have only the categories Otherworld Warrior and Join Forces. Yeah, this is where we just see that Join Forces sucks, okay? Let's just put it out there how it is. Join Forces is a concept. It sucks. Okay, it sucks. It sucks. It objectively sucks. Like, it's bad. Get rid of it. Actually give characters all the categories like Legends does. Not trying to just be like, well, Legends does this. No, it's literally just how it's supposed to be, chat. It is. Yeah. Despite that, though, the duo of Yamcha and Princess Snake still has an amazing passive for real, but it's just, oh, yikes. I would have liked that to be more universal as well. Of course, we got new World Tournament LR, and she seems like a pretty massive support and stat-based character for sure. Oh my flappin' word, chat. Because I look at the kit and I see, oh my word. Yeah. She definitely has a little bit of sauce. I don't know how good she actually is, but she could be alright for a free-to-play, for sure. For sure. Just like other World Tournament units, she could be alright for a free-to-play. And then, of course, we have the Easy A of the last Halloween character, which is Goten and Icarus Jr. And, of course, he's alright. He looks like he's gonna be okay as a free-to-play character. Nothing seems really too bad for sure. Of course, this campaign gave us the awakenings for all the SSR possessed characters, and that's really good. I think I'm gonna have to try that out on the serious fight, because that fight relies on, a very stringent mission, so it could be interesting to see me trying to sauce up with Corroded Body and Mind with the whole baby team. I don't know, that could be interesting, or that could just go really badly. I don't know, one of the two things is going to be happening, but I mean, he got an entire team around him in one celebration with all these new awakenings and such. So I'd say he's definitely been a pretty good thing for the whole baby having all of this love. For sure. I'd say it's pretty good. But I think I speak for the trees when I say the community is ready for something to come out here with this next campaign for sure. Although I definitely think the general community is a little bit nasty sometimes, to be honest. Especially for Legends more so. They get on my nerves. Some of you people get on my flippity flapping nerves, chat. Oh my word. But with that out of the way, I will say that we could see something crazy, especially since this is not just a normal broadcast. I just want to make this clear. It feels a little bit more I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels a little bit more special to have a live broadcast in Tokyo, Japan, than it is to just have a normal thing. I don't know. That seems like it's going to be something a little bit crazy if the title's literally celebrating 10th anniversary year, live broadcast in Tokyo. I think it's going to be something. I think it's going to be a little something if we're going to have a title like that. Like, come on. Really? I think it's going to at least be a little bit cray-cray. I think it's at least going to be a little bit cray-cray. For freaking sure. And speaking of cray-cray, I just want to get this in there. Absolute cinema what Legends did with the Zenkai for Future Gohan. Oh my gosh. That has been absolutely insane. In a year of kind of questionable Zenkai awakenings, that's been a very good Zenkai awakening. Very, very fire Zenkai awakening. Absolute cinema to finish off the Zamasu stuff, and that is going to be exciting to see that go into the end of the year, because it's going to be all gas. It's going to be all gas the end of the year, but we'll see what Dokkan does for sure. Of course, there's other things I'm looking forward to. The new limited blue unit from Phantom Parade is apparently like really solid. Oh my word. Manga Booster 02 is going to be really good for us Frieza lovers. Shoot, OP13 comes out very, very soon for the English side, so I'm going to love to get my hands on the SR Julie Bonnie for my Vegapunk deck, because y'all already know I'm the Vegapunk man. Big brain here. Absolute cinema on that, and of course the other Stussy card that is going to be introduced with that set. I'm going to be picking up the alternate arts, of course. I can't not do that, as well as Geki Shin Squadra actually spin out some hot fire with their updates on adding private matches and even announcing a campaign where they have official prize support. Like, what? That's insane. Yo, I most definitely am a little bit jealous for these other games, because, oh my word, that seems like an awesome campaign. Just have all these fan-made community events for freaking sure. Xenoverse is spent hot fire, as I know. Fighters is getting really good again, for sure. That is absolute cinema and amazing. And of course, we have Sparking Zero, just kind of vibing, you know. Their last DLC was definitely with mixed reviews, because it was definitely hot fire, especially the transformation into Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which again, this game still doesn't have Daima since January. Or, no, it was, when did Vegeta get, since Vegeta, alright? Since Vegeta. And I definitely think that no Daima content in this game that drops will actually change the opinion that they fumbled Daima. Yeah, they did. And there's one massively simple reason why. They did not do very good when Daima was still ongoing, I feel like. They just didn't drop the first characters well, because they had only dropped the Daima, Goku, and Vegeta free-to-play cards that never really ended up being anything too crazy whatsoever. And of course they dropped the Intelligence Daima Goku, which absolute cinema, do not get me wrong. Him and Glorio for New Year's was absolutely peak, although it was right before Power Creep, so actually love to see that. That is absolutely cinema and not at all just a big oof, big massive oof. And of course, Daima was the part EX for the anniversary with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Mini from Daima. Definitely a very good moment from that show. I absolutely was floored when he unveiled Super Saiyan 3 against Tamagami number 2, which were those guys. I mean, sheesh, like a lot of games have really just focused on very specific things, but that's whatever. That's a conversation for another video. But the thoroughly refined strength of Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta definitely is absolutely amazing. But this guy came out all the way back in early March. This guy came out in early March and then did like radio silent. Absolute cinema, don't get me wrong. I definitely think what they have done for the show is not too bad. Outside of the free-to-play cards. Free-to-play cards, like, it's really not too crazy, not too good. And of course, New Year's, love that. Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta Mini. Despite his kit apparently being questionable, I haven't pulled him yet, so I wouldn't know. But besides his kit apparently being questionable just because of Power Creep chat, he is far out. And it's like, well, Legends had their last Daima character a little while back. Why don't you get on their heads? Because they delivered throughout. They just delivered. They really just delivered all of it. They delivered all of what we want. Like, they literally have the free-to-play card for Daima, Goku Mini, which got a freaking Zenkai too, so it's like, okay, that's fire. That's hot fire. Of course, they had their Goku Mini with a power pole, and Glorio dropping very, 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 very quite early. Of course, had the equivalent to the Int Mini Coup, Super Saiyan Goku Mini from Festival, which, shoot, that card is still absolute cinema. And then, of course, Tamagami number 3. 2 fought Vegeta. And 1 fought Coup. Which, honestly, 3 was the cooler out of all of them. 3 had more aura. 3 had a lot more aura than 2 of them. But I also appreciated 2's banter. I think 1 was just way too not personal. At least 2 was at least snarky enough. Like, he was like, go back home to your mama, Vegeta. It's like, whoa, the disrespect is crazy. Like, whoa, like, I get it, he's an actual child in this moment, but like, goodness gracious, Tamagami number 2? What is going on? Dang. Alright. And of course, we have the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Majin Buu, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Majin Buu. You know, absolutely the trifecta. Although I definitely do think they should drop more. Do not mistake that for me saying they should not drop more Daima. They should. Oh no, they absolutely should drop more Daima for Dragon Ball Legends. I definitely think before we get this new crazy information, the community has been fed. Oh my goodness, the beggars can now be choosers, blah, 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 blah. All that crazy stuff. New. Before that, I definitely want a run back of Daima to hit the important stuff so we can at least have them. I think Goma is a must. I would like to see Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku. Of course. Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta, as much as I love him, we can save him for later. As much as I love him, I think we should really focus on getting Miniku, Super Saiyan 4, and then getting Goma. And of course, we could have Oritsu as a supporter, and that would just be the banner. Okay, that would just be the entirety of the banner. I would want that to happen for sure, but if it doesn't, we still definitely won. In terms of that. For freaking sure. I just want to replicate the Red Beast Gohan situation again because, oh my gosh, was it hilarious. It was absolute peak comedy when we got another Beast Gohan before Dokkan, quote-unquote, had their first real, playable, actual Beast Gohan. That was so funny. That was a day where I just cackled. I was crying inside, though, because, of course, we really know it's like, why is Dokkan fumbling this hard? Please just drop. Please, just drop Beast. And when they did drop Beast, for real, we it's like never forget, but like, they did a good job on that Beast. They did. There's no arguing about that. They did a good job with Red Beast, which is why I'm not too opposed with the idea of dropping Manger Daima for 11th Annie. I'm not. And why? Because if they're waiting so freaking long, I would like them to give it the anniversary treatment at this point. I really would. I genuinely really would. For sure. I definitely would not mind them giving it the anniversary treatment. And I think for Legends, we could have that as well. Because let me look at it. Let me give it a good look over. When did they drop? Because I can go ahead and look at that and see when they dropped these characters for sure. Because I want to make sure I'm not tripping on the timeline before I go ahead and say this. Let me just take a quick glance. So Legends Festival, was it 2023? Yeah, Legends Festival 2023 was okay. So they had that. After anniversary was where is Orange? Okay, where is Orange? I'm trying to give me a second. Let me find Orange Piccolo real quick. Let me try to find Orange Piccolo real quick. Oh yeah, because it was 5th Annie, right? Yeah, it was 5th Annie, so it had to be okay. So I'm just saying, it's far enough where they could release another Daima character. I'm just saying, because they released the Orange Piccolo banner, and then they released the Red Beast banner at Legends Festival. So I definitely think it's more than long enough for them to release more Daima. I definitely think they should. And the reason why is because I think they should. Because all of these like new properties, right? They have a period where it's like, oh my goodness, we must get out a lot of characters or quite a few characters for the new content to advertise it, and then of course afterwards there's still a period of, oh my gosh, we should push this content out anyway and really promote this show. And then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, now we're just gonna move on, and then push it with everything else, and then just have it drop at a more so normal pace for characters from said point in the series. So I definitely think we should get the essentials before we move on, and I think that is Goma. I just think if there's anything that would be like, oh, we have to have him before we go, I think that would be Goma. I definitely think that would be Goma. There's no argument about that. I think that would have to happen. Same thing with like Selmax last time, of course. I just think the main villain should be here. You know, I definitely like them more than most, so I have a little bit of bias, but I think Goma should be here in this game before we go ahead and draw. Same with, of course, Dokkan. I think they could definitely do a very, very impressive job, especially with how much time they've had to really cook. I think they can. I definitely think they can go ahead and cook with this, but it's definitely not lowering expectations for sure. I would not be surprised if the community would be even like a little bit like whiplash or like, oh my gosh, what? Why? If we did more Daima for Legends, because they did such an overwhelmingly good job. It was annoying almost to where the team was just so dominant. But for Dokkan Battle, it's like, oh no, we're begging for this. We're literally hands and knees begging for y'all to actually freaking drop Daima. Like I'm being so serious. Like we are absolutely just need that to come out for this game for sure. For freaking sure. But that is what I've had for this video to say on these topics. Definitely looking forward to the broadcast. Again, definitely been a little bit less motivated to create videos because of the whole state of Dokkan Battle in general right now not being super interesting, and of course my other games I just haven't seen much action going on. I mean, shoot, Global Phantom Parade is one of those things where I can now understand what the JP people were talking about when they're like, yeah, this game is like super slow, it's not really interesting at all outside of like the stuff you do, because like dang, it was like really getting to the point where it was only really fun during the major celebrations, and I definitely think that Dokkan could do a good... Hear me out. I definitely think they could go the direction of Legends and have the boost up type stuff where they actually focus on not only giving an extra bit of pizzazz to these celebrations, just overall an extra bit of support for them, but keeping everything timely. Like, notice, they have really just been starting to be like, okay, we're gonna drop a new character with an equipment, or we're gonna go ahead and say, okay, we're gonna drop this free-to-play character with a new story chapter, and then we're gonna go ahead and drop this raid, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this, and then do this. It feels like so consistent. Because I definitely know they definitely did not like to drop things with each other. I definitely know they would actually do some weeks where they would just give a unique equipment to a character, and that's it. That's the entire freaking week. That's the entire week of new content. And it's like, wait, what? Huh? I definitely remember, I believe it was Legends Festival, where we kind of had that problem with the exceedingly boring 3-week gaps. It was like getting really nasty, but I definitely think they've polished their schedule a lot. I think, Tournament Power, that's going to be good when they finally update that. Finally, goodness gracious. And of course, they've been actually phasing out things that have been bad as well. I think both games have been doing a good job in the quality of life, especially with phasing out the bad stuff. I mean, Legends, has I wouldn't say completely removed it, but let's be honest, full power battle is not where it once was. It's been, I feel like they kind of realized they didn't do a very good job with that, so they just kind of, it feels like they've been phasing it out. it feels like them slowly, that kind of making you forget that they really existed, to be honest, and it's not really something I think most people are complaining about, and just really giving you all the Z power in the actual events, in these fierce fights, for sure. That's absolutely amazing. And of course, them revamping Tournament Power once again. And I say once again because Tournament Power was abysmal before it got to where it was now. We all hated the 5 energy cap instead of just being 25 for like all stages. Okay. Like, oh my goodness. And of course, Dokkan Battle removing reversal. Allegedly removing reversal. I don't know. Dokkan Battle removing reversal is allegedly. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, though. It doesn't really feel like it, though. Because, we'll get to that later. But, of course, I got all the stuff done for the missions. Very, very nice. But, I really thought they were gonna have it. Let me actually look at something right fast. Let me see something, because I was like, is this just the... Yeah, exactly. Global getting QOL updates late is so bad. That just doesn't look good. It's not a good look. It really isn't a good look. It's like, I thought reverse was gone. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna see reverse gone. It's like, no, it's not. No, it is not. That's really weird. I think they should fix that ASAP, because that's really awkward. But with that being said, happy spooky month, happy Halloween, whatever. I'm trying to do some more good stuff in life. And then, of course, I'll get on out of here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and until next time, bye.